nice car before I had a truck.
Oh, never mind. That was purple.
Okay.
There was a purple.
All right.
Dark purple
Hey,
truck.
Dukes, I subscribe to you on YouTube.
I saw that. Thanks a lot. I
Yeah,
appreciate
don't
that.
know.
All right, go ahead and turn to page.
I love charging.
Turn to page 25.
What are we doing?
Pretty much
25. Turn to page 25 and get your chapter 2s open today. 25. Now, we have already talked about who was the person or the presidential during their campaign started the USDA, and that was
I did notes yesterday, but I don't think
Abraham Lincoln. Anybody know what year that might have been?
69.
1862.
2.
Very good. Nice job. It was 1862, and we're going to talk. You guys are going to be able to today describe how that USDA actually first started to help farmers. Because a lot of it now, has anybody, I probably have asked that before, we'll ask again. Who has been to Washington, D.C. before? Okay. Did you drive past the USDA building there at all?
Awesome.
That's like
Yeah, it was a
have you
little
been
bit
there?
tricky.
Have you ever been? Oh, so you may not remember. But the USDA building there is really big, and there is a lot of things that the USDA does. A lot of it, now I think a large percentage of what the USDA really does doesn't really totally correspond directly with American farmers. A lot of it deals with incentive programs, food stamp programs, and things like that to help people out. But originally, though, it was definitely created to start helping the American farmer right away. So you're going to be able to describe that. Also, we're going to look at the difference between utilization research and market research. These are two key terms that you will have. We're also going to look at some new uses for crops, and we're going to look at kind of a definite success story of why this research has continued because of a guy that did utilization research to find a lot of different varieties or a lot of uses for a different crop, a couple different crops, leading scientist in that. Okay? So that's what we're going to do. Let me go ahead and speed through all of this here.
Why is there a slide for every separate?
Picture?
Yes.
Oh, because I wanted to highlight the pictures.
I know what they look like.
Some people don't.
Well, they
And visuals are very good. Some people learn better by looking at pictures. Okay, we're done with the new crops and uses. We're on early American adaptations. So, we've talked a little bit about this already. That when, especially the New World, okay, was founded by Columbus, he found the land, right? And then as people did come here, there were Native Americans here, okay? Or it says North American Indians. And what they did is they actually had a lot of these things planted, and they actually used a lot of these, okay? They were planting corn or maize, potatoes, squash. Some of these were staple crops that they were already planting and utilizing. But when the Europeans settled here, they did not know how to grow some of this stuff. They had no idea how to grow some of these things. So that's kind of where this adaptations really come into play. So let's see, 25. Yes, Delaney.
Columbus didn't technically find the land. They didn't know that.
Okay, true. I guess but it is, I guess we are,
We credit
so
him
they
for not
could,
even
we credit him for
doing nothing.
possibly finding that land
He
that
didn't-
we did not know,
no,
that
possibly.
explorers did not know about. Okay? I guess maybe he made it more well known. Can we say
Well,
that?
but you could say he found it because if somebody hid a treasure, they would know where it was, and if someone found it, we'd still say they found it, even though somebody already knew it was there.
I feel like we're going to have to agree to disagree on this one. But
I agree with
it's good
I think
ideas.
you go either way.
All right, 25. We're going to just read through a couple of these things here so that match up with kind of what we're talking about. From the beginning, American farmers were responsive to market signals and looked for new crops and markets that would increase their incomes. Many of the new crops new to the colonists had long been grown, like we said, by North American Indians. For example, corn, potatoes, squash, and tobacco. Corn or maize was first introduced into eastern North America around 200 AD when the first European settlers arrived. They learned how to grow corn from the Indians and depended on corn for their survival. So what is always a staple food in here? I guess vegetable. Maybe some people don't have it, but around Thanksgiving time, right? This deals right in with Thanksgiving.
Corn,
Who has
potatoes.
corn normally during their Thanksgiving feast? Okay. What else? I mean, I guess some people probably have, green bean casserole.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, okay, what else? What is it? Sweet potatoes. Who has squash around Thanksgiving time? Do you really?
Yeah.
What kind of squash?
The squash.
Butternut.
The butternut squash.
Butternut squash. Okay, so that deals a lot of I guess that kind of does relate back to what the
Yes,
North
tobacco
American
is
Indians
good.
were first
Me.
also growing.
Tory.
Hopefully, though, I guess, I bet not many people though have tobacco during their, yeah, there you go, right? Because that is, but that was a crop that these Native Americans
Actually,
did grow and
I'm
have.
pretty sure there was tobacco.
Or eating it, I'm saying just eats.
Because my cousin chews.
Okay.
Yeah, my family, like
Alright.
half my family.
Sorry, I should have never said that. Okay.
Just saying.
But I guess
It was there.
that's true. You definitely could be right then. Some people may. Okay, let's just move on now. Some of these crops, though, were taken back by the first settlers or the European settlers, and by the first Spanish explorers, where their adaptation depended on how well they fit the need and expectations of European farmers and consumers. So now we can already tell that this trade is happening, because trade, we know, is very important for the whole American economy. And it's really starting to happen. I mean, it was happening beforehand, but now trade is going to happen, because once you have different crops or commodities and you're taking them all over the world or back to different countries, what starts to develop in these countries then for these crops? The markets, right? Because there is a demand. Okay? And that is exactly what is happening here. And then also, these markets, there's new markets for a lot of these American crops that can grow well and then have been growing in North America. That we've already kind of talked about a little bit of the origin there. Okay? So, and then actually the book also does talk about tomatoes didn't really become popular. Even though they may have been originated over here, a lot of explorers or people actually thought that tomatoes were poisonous. And some of you may think they also are because you don't like them.
Is
But
that because of the pewter plates?
what?
Is that because of the pewter plates? They put them on the plates and then the acid would react with them.
Oh, probably because they were pretty acidic. I would assume so. That could very well be.
What kind of place is it?
Pewter.
What's that?
It's a metal.
Also, European farmers were able to then replace some low-yielding or high-labor crops with easier to produce ones. Sorry, did everybody get these?
No.
Okay. One of these, which we'll talk about next year, was corn. Corn was, as it says, succeeded in Europe because it offered a high-producing alternative to other grains and relatively little work. Also, another key staple crop was potatoes. Potatoes also had very high yields and also became a very big staple crop in the European area. Even if they were founded or originated over in North America, this trade began, markets started to develop, and boom, potatoes were a major staple crop. And also to point out too about corn, which it is still used a lot, especially the dent corn that we have out in our fields. That's not really the corn that you guys eat in the supermarket, okay? Now, what are some products, though, that the corn out in the field that farmers harvest?
Feed.
What are some products that you probably would eat? Okay, animals
We
would
would
eat
eat,
feed. Yeah, what you would eat.
Cornmeal.
Okay, so you got corn flour, right? And then or cornmeal. So
Cornflakes.
what are some other products? Cool.
Cornflakes.
Cereals? What else?
Cornstarch.
I said
Does that
corn
come from-
Starches? Okay, flours?
Corn syrup.
Syrup? Great.
Cornbread.
Cornbread, that would be the cornmeal. Good. What about, he said flour. So what else do we make? Bread. What?
Tortilla chips.
Tortilla chips. Very
Tortilla
good.
chips.
Tortilla chips. Very good.
Feed.
What?
Feed.
Feed for livestock. Yes, absolutely. What about? And I actually like flour ones better. But what about corn? Okay, you said the chips.
Flour tortillas.
Yes, right? No, those
Flour ones.
a lot of times are mainly wheat, but there are also corn
Depends on what you're eating.
tortillas, either the shells or the soft shells, I guess. And I think in a lot of authentic or Mexican restaurants, they have a lot more of the corn shells
I think
compared to
ours
I
flour.
think it depends on what you eat.
Ours does.
Do you like the flour ones better or the corn ones?
Depends on
The
what you're
corn
eating.
ones
Okay, what about like a soft taco?
Then probably.
They're like the color of our.
Yes, I like
Oh,
flour.
my
But
dad
like
said.
fajitas.
Do ya?
I took that for like corn. There's like a 3-day window that you can like cook it, eat it, and it will taste like okay.
Really?
Oh.
So like, it tastes better after 3 days, or?
No, like
What tastes better?
okay, so like normal corn, like not sweet corn.
Oh!
Like there's a 3-day window that you can like.
Yes.
Cook it and it'll taste.
So you could actually when your corn plant, I mean you have to know when it is, but it does taste like sweet, I mean the
Yeah.
variety, because it is softer, but as it matures then,
You have to get it like.
you have to get it just right or else then it gets too hard and then it's not good. But yeah, I've done that before, yes.
What's like the president or whatever, somebody that had like these cornmeal pancakes.
Johnny cakes?
Sure.
Okay.
Hoe cakes, that's what they are. They made those in Mrs. Honors with cornmeal.
Was it good?
No.
Was it like a pancake?
Yeah.
Well, I think we made them in 5th grade and they're called Johnny cakes, so.
What are those crepes or whatever they are?
Crepes?
With a crepe.
Is that, do you make those too?
It's kind of like that.
Same sort of deal with cornmeal?
Our
So,
crepes, those really thin pancakes.
Yeah.
yeah,
It tastes like paper.
okay. Well, so we do actually use corn in some of our diet, but a lot of it is still for livestock feed because it is, it has kind of a, I guess it's a coarse taste to it. If you just go out and start chewing dent corn, it's not that palatable.
I've tried it before.
It's not that good.
Maybe I should bring some in. We could all just start chomping on them, break some
No,
teeth.
I
Is that
tried-
good?
I tried
Okay.
popcorn out of field corn one time.
Did you?
can we not?
Or like when you,
When you like test it, see
Let's
to see if it's
ready
like
or
still
not.
wet or not.
well that,
I
yeah.
did that with my dad. It's not.
I tried
Like I
riding
wasn't
a
expecting.
bike
He
through
tried it,
cornfield.
like bit it, spit it out.
What?
I tried riding a bike through a cornfield, but didn't really
That probably won't work.
work.
Or like who, when you're eating popcorn, tries to eat the kernels in at the end too. Who has not done that? Yeah.
If you do it right, they still taste like butter.
Well, that could be, but they are still super hard, and then
I
you
hate
have
the
to go
ones
see
that are
the
really
dentist next
deceiving.
day.
There's a little bit of popcorn around them, but the inside.
The old maids, huh?
I hate
That's
those.
just
So you're
what
like,
I've
oh,
heard
this
they're
is the-
called.
I thought the old maid was the kernel. Of the
Yeah,
pop.
me too. I thought the old maids were just the kernel.
Oh, I thought the old maids were actually the ones that were popped just a little bit.
I don't think so. I think
I'm
they're
pretty
just
sure
the
old
kernels
maids are the ones that don't pop at all.
I'm so confused right now.
But the ones that are like
You're just
half
trying
and
to
half,
change my whole life
I
right now,
don't
aren't
like
you?
those.
Unbelievable. All right, here's a picture. This was, I mean, you probably, maybe through history class, have also heard of the potato famine that happened in Ireland.
No.
And why was that such, you haven't heard that at all? Well, it did happen in around this 1800 time. Now, why was that such a bad deal?
It's all they ate.
Because that was such a staple crop for them. Exactly. Okay?
Wow.
Now, what do potatoes provide for you in terms of nutrients?
So many
Or a
things.
lot.
Starch.
Starches. Okay, that's mainly starch, but what is starch?
No, carbohydrate.
Sugar, the carbohydrate, it's the energy, right? It's the energy. And that is why it is such a major crop. I think it is definitely still a staple crop. Maybe not as much as it is now, or as was then. But I think it definitely still is in the, I'd say in the world. You can do a lot with a potato. Absolutely. Okay, let's get into some other things. So now we're getting to the point of American farmers. We got all this trades going on. Markets are opening up for lots of these new crops. We had crops originated in North America. Now they're being shipped to Europe. They're going to then be traded probably over to Asia, and then just that's how trade starts up. A demand starts to happen for a crop because people have tasted it. So now we have farmers are growing some of these newer crops also, and now we have to start creating a market for them. Okay.
Can you eat indigo?
No, indigo mainly is used for probably what?
Dyes.
Yeah, dyes. Okay.
I thought that was a virus or something. Where's that?
Indigo is a color.
That's the color of, like,
Here's
right
another
before
thing
violet.
with it. Go on the end of it.
There's lots of words with
I'm trying to think of what disease has go on it.
Vertigo.
Yeah.
Oh, vertigo is kind of when you get dizzy. Your equilibrium is. Yeah, that's different than indigo though. Indigo is the dye.
Oh,
Okay.
I know, yeah.
Indigo is to oh.
Not to dye. It is a dye. Yeah. Okay. Get these here. It says more than 90% of colonial Americans were farmers, so the markets for surplus crops had to be going overseas. If you have a surplus of a crop, is that crop going to be worth a lot of money or not?
Sure.
No.
Sure means what?
No.
No, it will not be. Because you have so much of it,
And then you're sad inside.
you want to try to get rid of it. So that's how trade markets can also open up then as well. Especially if a country does not have a lot of that crop and they need to use it to maybe feed their people or create some product. That's what you do with the surplus crop. Okay? So then also American farmers turned to newer crops that wouldn't compete with those of European farmers, such as tobacco, rice, indigo, and cotton. Say this cotton here, that was one of your questions yesterday. As it says here, where does it talk about that? Right there. In the 19th century, farm exports, especially cotton, provided the income that young America needed for industrialization. Okay? And also rice at the time was also a staple crop because it provided that energy as well. And then we know probably around this time, cotton was going to be used to create clothes, and then what did they do with the indigo? They could dye then the clothes, right? And then,
Does
the-
indigo just make indigo, or can you mix it with stuff?
yeah, I would assume you'd be able to mix it with other, I don't know, I guess I didn't know what you're saying. Sorry, go, say it again.
Is it just the color
Like,
of it?
'cause
Oh.
Because they grow all this indigo, like you don't see that many indigo things.
But you do. Think about how many pairs of jeans are made every day in this nation.
Then why don't they grow the rest of this?
They're all made in China, though. Everything's made in China.
I don't know about, I have no idea, but I would assume, I don't know where the Levi Strauss company is
So can you
founded.
like make other colors from indigo?
You probably could.
I
Think a classic one is blue.
Yeah. Because blue dye.
Or like Lee Jeans Company, or any jean company, right?
By what?
Even jeans that have kind of a lighter tint to them, you'd still have to have some sort of dye in there.
What did you say?
And cotton is
Where
using it.
is the Levi what?
Strauss Company, Strauss, jean company.
Not Colorado.
I don't know.
Levi's are tough. They got two ponies pulling a pair of jeans.
What?
What?
Levi's are tough. They have two ponies pulling.
There we go. But those companies were founded around this time when cotton was in surplus and they're making the jeans.
To
See it anywhere? San Francisco.
No. It says from Barbara to San Francisco, California.
So, in the U.S. though, company?
Yeah.
What's
You know that.
whatever. Bavaria.
Bavaria?
Bavaria.
Okay.
Yeah, wherever that.
All right. Now, some other uses then for some of these crops. Okay, we also talked about industrial uses. So, pioneer farmers, they cleared the fields of trees for farmland. That's when also that was another question. They burned the trees and sold that ash for potash for making different lyes, but also they cleared fields, and then also it was a good fertilizer as well. Lye then was used for making soap. Has anybody ever actually made their own soap before?
Yeah.
Have you ever been to I don't know, do they do that out at, I've never been there
Oh
honestly.
my god.
Like Rock Creek Trail Days or something like that?
We make candles when we went there.
Okay.
I did.
Candle making, but a lot of pioneer families also made their own soap. And then this could become a profitable source of income even before crops were planted because, well, everybody needed soap at the time. Imagine living you're in the plains of Nebraska in the 1800s. Your house is, well, smaller than this room, but probably about half this room. It's made of sod. You got dirt floors. Do you think you'd maybe want to have a little soap, clean up a little bit?
No.
Just gonna get dirty.
I was gonna say you're gonna be dirty after this.
So never shower. And this would be just a lady there. She is washing her clothes outside there, using lye for that.
So
Okay,
you just jump in where you're washing out your clothes.
could do that too, because the hot water, not much of it there. All right, now we'll get into a little bit of the USDA like we talked about. Abe Lincoln, it was his administration that created the USDA. One of their biggest things that says in the book here, one of the biggest things that the USDA, one of their achievements or what they did right away, was they encouraged U.S. embassies. So across in all these countries, there is an embassy there that is supposed to help with the foreign relations and everything of the United States plus that country, with that country. So what they wanted, though, was for the USDA, these people at the embassies, to go ahead and collect a bunch of seeds from different parts of the world to try to see if those seeds and those crops could grow really well in the United States with the climate. Some could, some could not. And then we got seed distribution happening and research important parts of its mission, and that is where we're going to get into the utilization research and the market research as well. So there's Abe, there's the department created that in 1862. Okay, another very important thing here. I'm not going to go in, there's couple big acts here. Okay, Morrill Act or Land Grant Act. The book really doesn't talk about it, but this is what it did. Does anybody know what other act was happening in 1862? Especially Beatrice, Nebraska is an important part of that. What? Homestead Act. What did the Homestead Act do?
Gave you land
It gave you land if you did what?
to grow crops for like 2 or 3 years.
Farmed it. I thought it was like 5 years.
I thought it was
5 years, something like that? So it gave you a certain amount of land if you could farm it for 5 years. Okay, great. So now we have the United States is still a baby country, but yet we're pushing westward. In 1862, we got the Homestead Act. People are getting land. Also, this Morrill Act is coming about. A senator from Vermont, he, along with the Congress, decided to pass this Morrill Act. And what it did, somebody read that for me right there.
established universities where the leading object was learning about agricultural science.
Okay, so now we got research being poured into universities, money being poured in because these universities need to research how to best grow food and fiber because our country is getting bigger. There's more people there. Yes, the majority of people are farming, so that's why we have to have this research coming in to actually find out the best ways to grow crops. All right? Now the other one the book talks about is the Hatch Act. And the Hatch Act was 1872 is really what it is as well. So this book says 1887. I've also heard it be 1872. I probably should look that up a little bit better. But I guess for our purposes, since we'll go with our book, 1887. This established experiment stations. So we're learning all of this stuff. We need to try to feed people better. And agriculture, plant science is where it needs to be. All this focus of this money and experiment stations set up around the United States. So with these land grant, sorry I didn't spell again right. That's supposed to be land grant colleges. We got all these experiment stations going to be put up to actually have scientists experiment with different crops in different parts of the United States. Okay? And that's going to lead us into what this Hatch Act again did. The research helped improve crop yields, but also created a surplus. And that's where we're going to get into utilization and market research here in just a second. So we're exploring with new crops around the United States because we didn't always grow corn in Nebraska. We didn't always grow soybeans. We didn't always grow alfalfa. We didn't always grow milo, which we really don't grow right now. But we used to around here, or sorghum. We didn't used to grow some of these crops that really make Nebraska and our economy booming like our ag economy is, because that's what our economy is a lot of. And utilization research. Let's look to see what market and utilization research really is. Utilization research is looking for new uses for farm products where there is a surplus. And then market research is trying to see where these markets actually can exist at. So one great example we will talk about is on page 28. I need somebody to go ahead and bottom of 26, I need somebody to read 2 paragraphs for us. So turn to 26, and it's the last sentence down at the very bottom.
One of the most successful utilization researchers in the 20th century was George Washington Carver at Tuskegee Institute in Tuskegee, Alabama. Carver saw that the South was suffering from the overproduction of cotton almost to the exclusion of other crops. Not only were cotton prices low, but the boll weevil was also beginning to devastate cotton farms. Carver believed farmers would turn to other crops if enough new uses could be found for them to create a sufficient market. He concentrated on peanuts and sweet potatoes, 2 crops Southerners already knew how to grow but were not widely planted for commercial purposes. Over the years, Carver developed hundreds of new products from peanuts and sweet potatoes. The best known product to consumers is probably peanut oil. The USDA Extension Service helped distribute information throughout the South about converting from cotton to other crops. Largely because of Carver's research, peanut acreage quadrupled between 1910 and 1940. Carver also found new uses for cotton and soybeans. In fact, soybeans can be called the most successful new crop in the United States in this century. Figure 2.3 illustrates some continuing research with soybeans.
Okay. So what I'd like you to do right now, and you can do it with a partner or by yourself, I would like you to just write down, I want you to take about 3 minutes here, 4 minutes, either choose soybeans, cotton, or peanuts. And I want you to write down 5, 6, 7, whatever it is, new uses that George Washington Carver actually created with those 3 crops. Okay, choose one of them. So, for instance, okay, I would look up. You could just Google search anything that he did with soybeans. Some of the products that George Washington Carver actually looked up. Okay, that all are actually created because that deals with this utilization research. Okay, you have all this cotton in here. You have all this cotton down south. Well, what do you do with it? You got to make products with it. Okay, you can't just make shirts the whole time. Or we'll talk about peanuts. Okay, peanuts were one of his big things as well. What are some of the products that he actually created with peanuts then to make a market for peanuts? Okay, so cotton, peanuts, or soybeans. Go ahead. Just write a couple down. Yep, George Washington Carver.
Are we supposed to be writing this down?
Just on a piece of paper.
I have
Anyway.
like 30.
Are we allowed to work with partners?
Yeah, go ahead. Just right by you though. Just stay kind of by your area. Because it won't take too long.
Nigger, what?
Hi, boys.
Jack is this.
Look at me, I have a pin. Someone got to stop being
Where are we at? Are we just
never.
gonna say them?
Yeah, and then we'll go around, and then you need to designate maybe one person to say about 5 of them that you found. And here's what I should also say. I want you to find products that actually benefit you. So make it personal. Ones that actually benefit you or you use maybe on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. Okay?
Okay. Dude, the benefits let's do peanuts. Yours is me?
That's fine.
These are fuel, huh?
Yes.
You can really make them.
Okay, so.
Phoenix? Goiter treatment. And this is everything that he found.
Relax.
That's
Are these really all the things that you did?
What?
These all-
Yeah, now you need to personalize it to what benefits you.
We need to
Chain
decide
cream, emotions.
I mean, is this all the things that you did?
Yeah, this guy did a lot of things. Yes, yes, yes. yeah.
I didn't even use some coffee.
So, well, this looks like, well, cooking oil, you can use that for peanuts. Cream for milk, I don't really know. The oils, probably. The buttermilk, I have no idea how you did that with peanuts. Some of, scroll back. Does it say just for peanuts though?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does say
It says he experimented.
well, and that's the deal too. I think he probably added it to some
Where
of
did you find that list?
too. Yeah.
Literally.
Like, well, the rubbing
There's no
alcohol.
Georgia.
I wonder if he did some sort of, he maybe did a process where he actually cooked it and then actually separated the alcohol out of it once he cooked it. I don't really know.
Oh.
Don't you think Cruz would stop if I had a 10 by 20 truck flagging up the back of the pickup?
Maybe.
If you go to Hillary.
Some of these though, like, well, salted peanuts or like, yeah, peanut butter, that's a big one. Or also like the oil they talked about there. Peanut bars, peanut and popcorn bars. See, those are all value-added products too. You take the peanuts, mix them with something else, boom, that becomes a. It's kind of like Cracker Jacks, right? There's peanuts and Cracker Jacks. Or like Munch. What is that? What am I saying? There's another thing like Crunch and Munch, right? That has some peanuts in it as well. You ever eat that?
No.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I knew I wanted to do that.
Okay, about 2 more minutes, and then you can find. You can designate somebody maybe to discuss from your group on some of the
Alrighty.
or some of the inventions that are.
Your devices
Gotcha.
calling you.
Hello. Yes.
I ordered
Yeah.
pizza, sorry.
That'd be awesome.
Just yeah, I would like them to get done with that if you're okay with that. Taking them with you. Okay, and then I can get them caught up on the stuff we talked about tomorrow. So, thank you. Bye.
I'm legit gonna order pizza soon.
Thanks, man. I go to the bathroom. Don't fall in, Travis.
Well, I just figured these things were sitting there.
Thyroid's
I fall in every time I sit down
Is your next? Oh, those are yours.
Yep.
about drown myself.
You find some?
Like you have your lip system.
Food.
But you have 2 of them there.
Animal food. What were the foods?
That's what they always say.
Okay, Carver, what did he find? So right here, he buys peanut scoops for soup, cookies, candy, and of course peanut butter. He also used the oil for like bread. Yeah, those cookies.
Wait, so what was that thing?
All right, you got a couple?
I'm not putting that one down.
Are you done? You guys ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
You need any more time? You guys ready? Gonna discuss a little bit here. Okay, you gotta just write down a couple.
It's
Are
hard.
these the new products that affect your life?
It's on his computer screen.
Oh, you have to do this thing.
What's up, Tanner?
I have no idea. He might have went to run here or something. He has a plan, so. Yeah. Sorry. What? You got a couple?
You have to continue.
I got like a big list.
Love it.
Maybe
Did
my
you find some? Okay, good.
But I'm only saying 6.
That's fine. That's fine. Just say a couple. You got a couple, Hobie?
What? Yeah.
You alright there?
Yeah.
Okay. We need to go,
I've heard of it.
we need to go, do some races or something.
Toilet soap.
Move around more. You can, stretch a little bit, walk around if you need to right now. Okay.
Isn't it antiseptic soap? Is that like your septic tank?
No,
No, like antiseptic like antibacterial, like you
There it
put your
is.
hands. It's kind of like think Germ-X, but like in soap format.
Are those all peanuts? Or are those
That's all
soybeans?
peanut stuff.
Those are all peanuts?
It's literally like I feel like this is a reputable source considering.
I would say that's his university that he
Yeah.
actually, yeah, I'd agree. Okay. Listen up to, and maybe you can kind of connect to see if you had some of the same as the people that are going to be presenting here real quick. You don't even have, I won't even make you stand up for this one, okay?
Okay.
So go ahead, we'll go back to Autumn's group back there. What are a couple, and tell us what plant that you found them from.
Peanuts.
Peanuts.
You got pancake flour.
Okay,
You got candy bars.
nice.
You got cherry punch.
Interesting.
You got shampoo
Okay. Peanuts, right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
and gasoline.
And gasoline.
Yep.
Okay, very good. All right, who else? Who wants to go next here?
Adam does.
Okay, go ahead, Tristan. We'll come up to Delaney then.
Peanuts. That's soup, cookies, candy, and peanut
And peanut butter. That's the big one.
Is this our uses or what?
What?
Are you listing our uses?
Yes, your uses that you kind of said that affect your daily life. Go.
Peanuts.
Peanuts.
Soap.
Okay.
Ink.
Yes.
Linoleum.
Yes.
Face ointment.
Okay.
Ointment. Coke.
Yeah, I don't understand the Coke one. I
Okay.
saw that somewhere
This is
too
Coke
now.
from
Just
Whole.
Coke.
they make,
So an ingredient of Coke must be the holes. I don't know.
It
They
says
must-
it's from Whole.
Yeah. So it's the shell. Interesting.
Well, you.
Okay. Who's next?
I got
You
it.
did peanuts too.
Go ahead. Let's hear about peanuts.
Okay, considering some of these were mentioned, I just went and quickly found some other ones.
Okay.
So, laundry soap, and not that this affects my daily life, but laxatives are a thing. Shaving cream, glue, and also linoleum.
That's funny.
I was just
Thank you.
Wow.
Well, that is. It's an important thing. Go ahead, Obi.
All right. Since
Listen up.
we're all doing peanuts, I suppose I'll also do peanuts. I got rubber, got pesticide,
Okay.
paints,
Okay.
laxatives. I have those
Yep.
as well.
Laxatives.
Washing powder,
Okay.
papers.
Paper.
Paper.
Very good. Laxatives again. And the pesticide.
to make you poop.
Well, because that's a use that he found with peanuts.
How do you think you found that?
I don't know. He probably had some test subjects, or he
Here, eat this.
He's
got
ate it himself and just decided,
Like,
wow,
try this out.
this makes me go to the bathroom. I'm regular. And then the rest is history. All right, who's next? Some other uses. You ladies good or not yet? Adam, you got it?
Yep.
Okay, let's hear some.
Face bleach, Doug.
Well, Trent says face bleach.
Okay, are these peanuts still?
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
peanuts.
these are nuts.
Face bleach, lube, glue, gas, diesel. Yeah, diesel gas.
Okay.
And a soap, I guess.
Soap.
Lotion.
Okay, very good. You got some?
Yeah.
Did you do peanuts as well?
No.
Oh, they're turning it up. Okay, let's hear some.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody did.
Did you do peanuts?
There we go. Hey.
All right, let's hear some. And what crop did you do?
If you want to hear something.
Cotton. Okay, what are some other uses that he found for cotton?
Oh, Square Adam.
No way.
Yeah, it is.
He
That's what.
he did that?
Yeah. Cotton. Cotton. That's what cotton is.
Okay, but that's your source said that he.
Yeah.
People like that.
What a guy. Okay.
Right.
The more you know.
Thank you.
I did not know that one.
Socks. Water-resistant clothes.
Okay.
That's
Furniture. Boom, you're wearing it. Why not use cotton for furniture?
I'm not
Okay.
furniture.
Very good. So that was cotton. You got a couple?
Yeah.
What do you got?
Soap, lotion, I already said soap, but rubber, paper, and glue.
And glue. Peanuts, right?
Horses.
Okay, did I get everybody's here?
No.
No, I did not write up here. What? Oh, you did peanuts
The
too.
personal one.
Yeah. Yep.
Soap, shaving cream, lotion, and shampoo.
Soap, shaving cream,
What?
lotion, and shampoo. Shaving cream, huh?
And
Peanuts.
tan remover.
That's what it said.
And what?
And tan remover.
Oh, really? What do you need?
Oh, I heard tan remover.
No, I'm in the middle of class. So after school. What? 7:15. Be here. I announced it. Okay. I got a short little clip about old Georgie.
I think I found a picture.
Doug, is this him?
I don't think it is.
Okay.
I don't know if he used. He might have had better toothpaste.
Slavery in Missouri, George Washington Carver was orphaned as an infant.
Shh, okay, listen, because this will say some of his accomplishments as well.
By Moses and Susan Carver, the family who had owned his mother. As a frail child, he was not required to help with heavy farm chores and spent his days exploring nature and the plants in the Carver house. Soon, he became known as the plant doctor. George left the Carver home to pursue an education on his own. After 2 years, he earned a certificate of merit and would have to move again in order to continue learning. He moved 75 miles away to Fort Scott, Kansas. He worked at menial jobs while trying to save enough money for school. But his life was a lonely one, filled with poverty, cruelty, and prejudice. When he witnessed a black man being lynched, he fled. He had been accepted to Highland College in Kansas, but on arrival, he was turned away because of his race. In 1886, he settled on a farm in Ness County, Kansas.
Kansas!
While there, he performed agricultural experiments that would later be valuable to him. George was able to save enough money for a semester at Simpson College in Iowa to study art. Out of 300 attending, he was the only black student, and he was welcomed. He was described as having a burning zeal to know everything. His art teacher was so impressed with his ability with plants and encouraged him to major in horticulture. He transferred to Iowa State Agricultural College and graduated in 1894. In 1896, having received a master's, George was offered a position by respected educator Booker T. Washington of the Tuskegee Institute in Alabama. At Tuskegee, George decided on his purpose in life. He was going to help a former slave population become self-sufficient through farming.
Carver had been trained in Iowa in the natural sciences, in botany, and as a scientist and an investigator, Carver was a deeply practical man. He wanted to turn science into products that would benefit the black rural poor.
He developed the Jessup wagon, a movable laboratory on wheels to help educate farmers. He encouraged them to rotate their crops to conserve the nutrients in the soil and to give up soil-depleting cotton crops. He persuaded the farmers to plant peanuts instead. In his Tuskegee lab, he developed over 300 uses for the peanut and 100 uses for the sweet potato. Anything from beverages to medicines to paints. Carver collaborated with Henry Ford in developing alternative fuels with soybeans. He also perfected a process for extracting rubber from the milk of the goldenrod plant.
It is.
Carver produced a series of scientific inventions that were primarily designed to enhance the economic and agricultural productivity of the Black Belt. They benefited black and white farmers alike.
This prolific scientist was also a painter, a crocheter, and a musician, even raising money for the Tuskegee Institute by touring as a pianist. He had once turned down the opportunity to work with Thomas Edison because he believed he would do more good at Tuskegee.
After World War I, by the 1920s, Carver had become something of a legend, a folk hero to the Black South.
George Washington Carver died on January 5th, 1943. He was buried at Tuskegee next to his friend Booker T. Washington. His tombstone reads, "He could have added fortune to fame, but caring for neither. He found happiness and honor in being helpful to the world.
George Washington Carver's greatest accomplishment was in being a role model to a generation of young African American scientists who followed him.
Okay. So what was the major crop then in the South that was grown?
Good.
There was a market of cotton, right? And that's what was grown down south.
He fell down the stairs at his house. That's how he died.
Really?
He was 78.
I did not know
He was
that.
78, so yeah.
Interesting. So cotton was grown down there. There was a big surplus of cotton. Then what did he convince the farmers to start planting?
Peanuts.
Peanuts. So in his lab, he created all of these different uses, all these that you talked about, and then there became a market for these peanuts then. Okay, and that is what his legacy is. He created all these different uses for soybeans, for peanuts, for cotton, and it even said for marigolds. But that's what he did. That was a scientist, and that created the markets, and that helped prices rise as well. Okay.
Oh, he died of anemia.
Oh, really? So he was older and his blood didn't count. Gotcha. Hey, I did not know that. All right. So, like it says here, the boll weevil is just simply an insect that affects the cotton boll. That's what you call the little where the cotton grows out of.
It's reconnecting.
And
Hey, Dukes, you wanted.
thank you.
I want a pizza again.
Never do I.
Hello. Hello. Okay. Thank you very much. Bye.
Pizza coming?
No, it's not. Sorry.
Can I order pizza?
It's a good idea, though.
I will, though. I'll have that.
Okay. And we kind of we went over this already. Oh, and it also said he found some more uses for sweet potatoes as well. So without this guy, you would not have peanut butter. You would not probably have just honey roasted peanuts or salted peanuts or any of these uses with peanut oil.
I'm sure another.
And a lot of times, what?
I'm sure another guy was.
I don't know about that. But you don't know. But he found all of these uses, especially soybeans for ink as well. Ink's a big thing that was created. And so he founded a lot of these different products that soybeans and just sit right up there for now. We'll get you caught up in a second.
Hey, Doc, can we possibly get a shorter person up in the front?
Yeah, no kidding. I can't see anything.
What do you want?
I'm ducking down for Tori, but Trevor.
I'll look into a new seating chart then, I guess.
Can I sit right here? Can I not sit in the middle?
Also found you.
Wait, go back.
Okay, sorry, this right here. Did you get this?
Preferably not in the
Are you still on this one? Okay.
What was that?
I can't see.
Not bad.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll look into it.
Thanks, bud.
I don't want to sit in between people.
Okay, I got that sign.
You know?
No, I don't.
I think you should just settle for Trevor.
Thank you. You're gonna have to do that on the next one.
And you have all of these different uses for soybeans, peanuts, so on and so forth. All right, we're gonna wrap this up here in just a second, okay? So we've created a product. We're in the 20s. There's product now, a market for peanuts, for cotton. Soybeans has become a really big thing as well. And then it also said that George Washington Carver's another achievement was talking about farmers about crop rotation. Okay, what's the crop rotation we do around here in Jefferson County? Really, Southeast Nebraska. Corn, soybeans. Somebody explain to me why that is and what. Go.
Because beans put like nitrogen back into the soil.
Great. And then corn uses a ton of nitrogen. Okay, that nitrogen is used in a lot of the metabolic processes within side of the actual corn plant. Very good. So he created a lot of that. Now we're getting into more though. This Agricultural Adjustment Act was created in the 30s. to provide 4 regional research service stations, okay? And these laboratories did a lot of what Carver was doing, was to find different markets, create products for a lot of different crops. Because we had a surplus of some commodities, but we need to figure out some products that could these commodities could be used for, okay? So that's what this AAE was going on, or AAA, Ag Adjustment Act, was helping with. And it also is helping with the research on marketing. And there was another act, the Research and Marketing Act of 1946, which helped change this imbalance between production and post-production research. So again, just more research and marketing is added out there to help farmers create a demand for all of these crops. Okay? And now we get to the war. And this is a big thing because we have all these troops over in World War II. So they need lots and lots of different resources. Thus, there's a lot of different things with all of these acts going on. Lots of research and marketing went in to also creating a lot of the things that we have today, such as synthetic rubber, dehydrated foods. Yes?
During around World War II, they made their own division that tries making MREs taste better.
Oh, there we go. That's the dehydrated food, just like you talked about, right? It's exactly what was going on there. This was all agricultural scientific research as well. And it said also the U.S. scientists also, or USDA scientists also discovered a way to mass produce penicillin. Why was that important? Yeah, what's penicillin?
Mold.
Okay.
Well, yeah, it comes from.
It's an antibiotic, right? Used for all sorts of sicknesses as well.
Oh,
That's
no.
fine unless you're
Yes.
No.
Okay, so now we are up to about right after World War II. We're going to stop right there. I got one more. Yeah, I think we'll be fine. I got one more video that also talks about kind of a big thing that was also happening at this time for agricultural purposes. And we'll talk about this more when we talk a little bit about biotechnology and finishing some things up. But this guy, Roswell Garst. Big thing for a lot of our modern day crops that we plant to help feed the world. Cody, you can hit the lights on this last one. What?
We're watching the whole thing.
No.